A UK-based company is working on building permanent settlements under the sea. So this is what they would look like. Roomy cabins with modern finishes, all submerged deep in the ocean. Adding to the mystery is that nearly the entire project is being funded by one anonymous investor. Listen, this sounds like the plot from a Marvel movie, but it's not. This is real life and it's happening now. So joining us with more is Sean Wolpert. He is the president of Deep, the company behind this project. Welcome to Your Morning.
Good morning, Anne-Marie. Thank you for having me.
Listen, tell me about the germ of this idea. Where did it start from?
So it started with the recognition that the ocean is a very critical component for our planet. It provides the oxygen for more than 50%. The oxygen is the air we breathe. It produces more than 50% of the oxygen we breathe. And we need to recognize that this is the primary heat sink. This is the primary kind of component within the carbon cycle. And what we recognize is that there is an unreasonable gap between that criticality and our understanding and our knowledge. What we're looking to do, how do we close that, is create the Jane Goodall effect. It's creating that permanent presence for humanity in the sea. It's creating the same effect as the International Space Station and what that has been able to accomplish for our understanding of our species, for technology, and a platform for greater innovation.
So, Sean, while most people with a lot of funds and means are looking to build in space, you're looking to go into the sea. Why is that?
Absolutely. We think that you get to a multiplanetary species, you get to space through the ocean. This is the place where you're going to go and you are going to train your crew. You're likely to find a cure or treatment for cancer here on our own planet in the ocean rather than elsewhere in our solar system. We only have discovered, we estimate, about 15 to 20% of the species that we believe to be in the ocean. So again, what we have to discover to better understand our own planet, and more intently in terms of how we're able to inform discussions, inform policy, and inform how we kind of act and behave away from the sea, we need to solve this challenge first. And we think that this first step, we have an alien world here. So let's explore this one first before we decide to leave our own.
I want to get to the day-to-day life in just a second, but first I want to ask you, you mentioned challenges. The man who broke the record for spending the longest amount of time living underwater lasted about 100 days. His body shrunk by ½ an inch. He struggled to deal with the lack of sunlight. We still don't fully understand all of the health impacts that could come from living underwater for a long amount of time. How will you monitor and mitigate those things?
Absolutely. So again, that's a sample size of one. And what we recognize is that, we have all different types of wearable technologies. Many of your viewers probably have Apple Watches on, so you can see heart rate variability. You can see VO2 max, for example. We have continuous glucose monitors. So we can recognize and observe how our bodies behave in these environments, right? So we're outside of our normal course of life. Now, you can see instances as well, we've seen where there's actually positive benefits, where you see improvements from a longevity perspective. But the important thing we're trying to do here is understand how our bodies adapt. Right? Our bodies evolve and adapt when they're put under stresses, and sometimes and many times they improve or they adapt for the better. This also has a lot of parallels with space. So again, as we start to move humans out into environments unlike our own here on Earth, it allows us to better prepare both processes, equipment, and so forth that allows us to go into these new areas to explore further, but do so in a way that's safe.
Last question for you, Sean. These settlements we know aren't designed for short stays. The hope is that they could be lived in for an indefinite period of time. So while we're in this imagination stage, can you tell me how you have imagined, how you envision what a regular day in the life of someone living in one of these settlements could look like?
Absolutely. So one of the primary reasons to use this, again, that Jane Goodall effect, is for science. So you would wake up, many of your viewers are currently probably sat there having their morning coffee. You would wake up, you would maybe fire across a few emails and so forth, have a phone call. You'd be sat drinking coffee, not looking outside your window at the moment and looking at your lawn. You'd be looking out one of our large apertures there and seeing the beautiful ecosystem that is in front of you, all the organisms and the life. You then would go downstairs and you would put on your wetsuit and you would go out and you would dive for hours doing whatever package of work, whatever research or sampling that might happen. You would come back in, you'd have lunch, again, fire off a few emails. You'd go up into the lab to continue your work. And the way you would close your day would be just like you would any other day. You might come home, go eat some dinner, and then watch the latest episode of White Lotus. So again, what we're trying to do is make sure you have that capacity to be down there, do that package of work, be as productive as possible, but keep in fact that, again, we're all human after all, that we need to make sure that we're down there happy and doing the best work and being able to share that and deliver it to the rest of the world.
President of DEEP, Sean Wolpert, it's been fun to imagine this along with you and to sort of go inside what it could look like, life under the sea. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much, Anne-Marie.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.